Testosterone does not have to decline just because you're aging. In fact, I think one of the most important things that we can all know is that you can maintain awesome levels of testosterone into your 60s and 70s if you're getting the right support for your body. And that's the key, is knowing what your body needs. My name is Dustin Strong, and I've been working with many men for years, maintaining natural levels of testosterone well into their 60s and 70s and giving them a specific support that will do that. And if there's one thing that I've learned that I think is overlooked when it comes to that, is something called Fenugreek. This is going to be a whole series that I'm going to create on outlining all the things that we need for testosterone. But this one specifically, I want to really bring your attention to this Fenugreek because there's a lot of research on it I'm going to share with you. And I also want to share with you why this is so powerful when it comes to helping keep your testosterone levels high. So let's take a look at just some basic research here first. This is a meta-analysis of clinical trials. So the reason that that is relevant is that a meta-analysis is a study of studies. So it's not just going off of one study, it's multiples. So in science, it's difficult to do replication studies because you don't really get a lot of scientific credit for replicating what somebody else did. So when you look at multiple studies that were going after the same result, that really gives us a much bigger understanding. And you'll see down here, it says fenugreek extract has a significant effect on total serum testosterone. The results from clinical trials suggest that fenugreek extract supplement has an effect on serum total testosterone levels in men. Super encouraging. Now, we know that it has shown in a lot of studies to do that, but I want to know why is it doing that? So let's just take another look here at what's called the hormone cascade. Everybody should know this as well. First of all, I want to point out, and I've pointed this out many times, that at the top here is cholesterol. That is a whole other topic of conversation, but we have to have this before we can make anything below. But as you see, we go through a lot of conversions. We get down to something called testosterone down here. And in order for us to keep that testosterone, this is the trick. One of the great things about fenugreek, there's many great things about it, but it has a mechanism where it inhibits an enzyme called aromatase that converts testosterone into estrogen. And that right there is the whole danger of taking too much testosterone, because it will eventually turn into either estrogen or dihydrotestosterone, which is when you start to see people's hair falling out. And that is a separate enzyme called the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, which is also inhibited by Fen-gre I. So the beautiful thing is you're getting this testosterone in there. So if you are taking testosterone and you were wanting to keep it as testosterone, this is where Fen-gre I would be great. But if you are trying to do it naturally, you still want to be able to maintain it and keep it from converting. Now, the expression of these enzymes do tend to increase as we get older. So that's a piece to it, but that doesn't have to be the end result ultimately. Now, that's two reasons why I think that fenugreek should be a part of a lot of people's protocols. But the third one I'm going to share with you now is because it's way more than just testosterone. This is something that gives you benefits upon benefits. For years, I was introducing this to people in clinic because they would have too much congestion in their lungs, too much mucus buildup. And this was great at helping reduce that. And our lungs they take up a lot of real estate in our body. If we really want to achieve longevity, we have to make sure our lungs are powerful and strong and able to do everything we want them to do, because air is the number one thing that is keeping us alive. But if you look at this beyond that, it does say it helps clear congestion here. It acts as a throat cleanser, a mucus solvent that also eases the urge to cough. You do need to drink a lot of water with it because it helps get it into solution, but it also helps cleanse the blood. It does detoxing for the body. And this is a really neat thing about it that I think is important for people to know, that when you reach a saturation point of this, you get this smell from the skin. And actually, it's kind of a sweet smell. And that's a question that I get a lot is, well, how do I know if I've taken too much or not enough? Finding that sweet spot between too much and not enough is always a challenge because it's so individualized. So it's neat to have this feedback from this telling us, oh, I can actually smell that my skin, I think I may have hit enough and I can start to back off on that. There's a lot of other things you can go off of, right? And as far as like how your lungs are feeling. And of course, the easiest way to know whether or not your testosterone without getting it checked is are you waking up in the morning, ready to go? That's actually one of the clearest and easiest signs. So think about it, finding a good source for this, incorporating it into your life. If you're looking to maintain levels, you're going to get other benefits from it. That's the beauty of having it from a whole food source like this and not have to worry about the potential negatives of putting in an exogenous hormone into your body, which can cause more problems and throw things out of balance. Now, finally, I do want to share the resource that I use because a lot of people do ask that of me, and I feel like I've been leaving people hanging out to dry without that. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only source or the one that anybody should necessarily do, but this is what I use. It's called Fen-gre. I do about 5 or 6 of these when I get to the office in the morning, and with a big full glass of water. And I've definitely noticed a difference. And of course, clinically, I've introduced this to a lot of men to help support their testosterone. And I find that this has been a big piece to the puzzle to helping them get the results that they want. So from this company, it's from it's over 90 years old, actually, almost 100. But they have organic regenerative farms where they produce most of their products. And it's a very good, high quality, a decent price point. And I can leave a link below if you want to find it readily available. But this is one that I would use. Just check the quality of whatever you're getting. And one of the ways I think that you can do that is, of course, just to see how your body responds to it. But it's nice to know that there are good quality ones out there. If you're still struggling with testosterone and you've tried this and you've ruled this out and you're not getting any benefits or changes, leave a comment below and we can look at the next things. I will do a whole series on my whole checklist of things that we should all be aware of to be able to maximize and maintain our highest levels of testosterone. I'm just starting with this one because it's a simple and easy way to integrate something in your life that will add benefit to your life. If you feel like you really want to take a deep dive and make it very individualized, of course, you can reach out to the clinic, set up a time with me, and I'd be happy to sit down and outline the things that are unique to your life that may be inhibiting or blocking what's going on in your body from being able to make testosterone or what's missing to help you make it. The next video I'm going to make is actually one that most people would never think about, and it's actually mouthwash. It would be very, very alarming for a lot of people to learn that their mouthwash might be actually inhibiting their body's natural processes, but I'll get into that in the next video. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next